Greetings and welcome to my second Logic Pro session. Levandé! So, today we're going to talk about my song Dream from my EP, Timeless Nostalgia. Timeless Nostalgia is my pop EP, which goes through time, throughout decades, with the first song being a 60s inspired pop song, second song 70s inspired, third song 80s inspired, and so on and so on. And Dream is track 2. This is a disco song, at least in my opinion. It's an alternative disco song. It's the first song that I actually created for the EP. I created it in 2020. I have the version right here. Let's just go for it. Let's listen. I follow my dream. Ain't nothing gonna stop me, no. Gonna make them see that it's my time to shine. Just gotta believe. Oh, that is me gonna be in that dream. I follow my dream, 'cause I know I can make it back. That was it. That was just me on this little keyboard, because I remember this being the first thing I did on that day. I just sat down, opened up the piano, and started singing. I wanted a song that was complex in terms of chord structure, but still a very singable melody. A melody that isn't too complex, that's just straight to the point. And that's how I came up with that. But obviously the song didn't stop there. After I recorded that, I opened up I opened a GarageBand at the time, and I tried to create this whole disco song, and this was the very first version. That it's me who's gonna be that dream, 'cause I know I can make it, baby. I will follow my dream till the end of time, 'cause I know that I can make it. So yeah, that's what the first version of Dream sounded like. It had this synth bass with a lot of sub-lows, not many harmonies actually. It's 3 parts except for the bridge that I just played. That has 4-part harmony. But yeah, overall, very simple song. Nothing too crazy. Sounds good in my opinion, but yeah. So I sent this to Jake Sherman, because Jake Sherman on Twitch sometimes reviews like music from other artists and other people. He listened to it and he said, it sounds like you're trying to emulate some kind of disco feeling, but he told me that I really need to listen to the Bee Gees and Earth, Wind & Fire around that time, late 60s, early 70s. That's what he told me, because he said the bass has too many sub-lows and that I need to listen to those examples to have more of a disco sound. So I did that, and that's how we got to the most recent version of Dream. Here we go. I'll follow my dream. Now, let me explain what's happening here. First, cracking noises, because this is the 70s. I wanted to add this vinyl crack to really bring you into that feeling of like, oh, this is the 70s, we're listening to a vinyl, that kind of thing. Because the song is called Dream, I wanted the intro to be very confusing in terms of the key of the song. Like, the key of the song is A flat, which is A, B, C, D, E, A flat major. I wanted the intro to be very confusing, to give you this feeling of like, okay, what key are we in? Where are we going? What's going on? Which is why it starts on E sus 13. But I wanted the melody to stay the same. I'll follow my. I wanted to still have the same melody, but to go somewhere else. I'll follow my. I wanted the melody, I'll follow my dream. That note to bring us to the key of the song. Since the note is F, and F is a note that is in the key. I thought this could be great. This could be the anchor to the key of the song, especially because the first chord is a B flat and F is like the dominant of B flat. So it just worked perfectly. But it was a little too empty for me, which is why I added, inspired by Jacob Collier. And then this big chord in 4-part harmony. Yeah, and that's where the song starts. I wanted to add these cheers. Because I wanted it to really feel like, okay, we're starting. The party has started. Let's go. So in that time, I was studying Donald Fagen, who really does these kind of things very often. So yeah, I was like, I need to add it. So basically what I did here was I took the melody that's being played by the trumpet and the shimmering bells. I wanted that melody to be harmonized, but instead of doing it with something else, I decided to do it with vocals. So and I just harmonized it. And then again, that's where the verse comes in. Open my window, heard a voice speak to me. It told me to go on, told me to. No matter what they say, that I can choose my own path in life if I want to. So I listen to my heart. How I came up with that kind of just happened on its own. But not the melody. The melody in the verse that took a little while, because A flat is not a key that I'm too comfortable in. So I had a few options. Sing a melody around A flat, B flat, around C, E flat, and so on and so on. And I decided to go with C, which is in a range where I'm still comfortable, but I'm already in my mixing range because I'm a baritone. I was a bit anxious, to be honest, to sing it in this key because I was like, it's already in a higher range, so who knows how much higher it can go, but it worked out. That's how I got to all this. I want to, so I listen to my heart, and now I know that. Chorus. What happens here? Melodically, a lot. I wanted the chorus to feel like we've entered a different place, especially because the rhythm of the song isn't really changing. I'm not going half time or double time. We're still in the key of A flat. The melody in the chorus is in the same range as in the verse. Follow my dream. It's all around C. So I really needed something that says something change. So I decided to go with the chords. The first chord in the chorus is not a diatonic chord. It's a G flat major chord. Here, and there it goes. That's why I chose that. I wanted the song to have brass instrument because it's a disco song. So I decided to make some kind of melody which is somewhat catchy, and that's how I came up with and our 4-part harmony. That's how I came up with that. Took a while. Can't lie. This took a while. But what happened then? Yeah. The background vocals. I'll explain this. So what happens here. Ain't nothing gonna stop me, no. I have a habit of always harmonizing things in 3-part harmony, 3 or 4. But with Dream, because there was already so much going on, I decided to not do that. Just sing in octaves. So that's why you have this ain't nothing gonna stop me, no, gonna make them. But also this one in head voice. Later on, I decided to add some 3-part harmony here and there. Time to shine, just gotta believe. And then here, that is me who's gonna be in that dream. 3-part. What? I know I can make it, baby. Yeah, I just had to add it. One very nice detail about the background vocals here is, 'cause I know I can make it. I had to sing that part in the most dramatic way ever. Like, I didn't go, 'cause I know I can make it, baby. I could have done that, but it didn't really do what I needed, which is why I went, 'cause I know I can make it, baby. No, I can make it. I just had to, you know, it really adds something. And then we have, yeah, because that's already the chorus. We already finished talking about the chorus. Then we have the whole interlude. I wanted to add an interlude because just jumping into the second verse didn't feel right, which I did do for the shorter version. But I wanted this one to be like a long song that really, you know, keeps you on your toes, that keeps you excited, keeps you, you know, looking for, oh, what's going to happen next, which is why I added this. Pretty simple, you know, still the lead melody that goes da 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 da, that motive that just keeps coming back. But in the background vocals, I did quite a lot. I wanted to add something rhythmically there. It's a small detail, and a lot of people don't even notice it, but I hear it, so it's there. Second verse. The second verse sounded too much like the first verse, so what I did was just add more harmonies, not only vocally, but also brass instruments. And all of that is 4-part harmony. I forgot one detail. The brass instruments, they're live. I reached out to trumpet player, an alto saxophone player, tenor saxophone player, and a trombone player. And obviously, I combined those brass instruments with the MIDI ones that I already had, creating this big sound. And that is me who's gonna be in that dream. I don't know, 'cause even though this is already a lot, I still wanted to add more. So I harmonized this little section with vocals here. I basically just gave the brass instruments some lyrics. And then this part, which took a while, because I wanted it to build up, but it was very difficult because the notes that I had were very limited. The chord is F altered, and F altered has some notes that are not really in the key of A flat, but I still went with it, and I did a call response thing where the brass plays one note, vocals another. So it goes vocal, brass, vocal, brass. That's basically all of the second verse. Then we have the second chorus, which is the same as the first one, except there is a change at the end. So instead of going A flat major, 'cause I know that no, the major 7, instead of singing that, I'm singing 'cause I know I can make it, baby. I did that because I wanted the introduction for LYRICALMAR to be this, whoa, something else is happening. Something is here. Because that's kind of the thing that I do with my music. I want to keep surprising people so that, you know, the music doesn't sound, I guess, stagnant. 'Cause I know I can make it, baby. Bridge. Lyrical Mars part. Oh, he did incredible. I don't know what I can say. It's amazing. But I want to talk about what happens melodically. So that's inspired by Michael Jackson. But I'm not singing over this part, so I don't have to focus on having a melody that makes too much sense, which is why I decided to just go crazy with like chords and whatever's happening. And then the brass comes in. And my favorite part here is this D natural that comes out of nowhere. This part here is inspired by Destiny's Child, because there's a song where Beyonce was singing in the background, and I wanted to do something similar. I wanted it to ascend, but I wasn't sure what notes I should choose. So I started on C. But I decided, let me sing a note that will surprise people and also keep them on their toes, which is a D natural. I decided to add that to still give people something unexpected. Yeah, all that over Lyrical Mars' incredible verse.
Sweet dreams and intuition, my unstoppable deep ambition. God speaks, so I stop and listen. He gave me vision, that's my ammunition. He gave me much more than a pot to piss in. Gave me this gift, but the box was missing. I've been a star, but was scared to glisten. Had to figure out it was my time, mixing.
What can I say? He did incredible. I had nothing to say because he actually sent me the verse just like that. I was speechless. So yeah, little Vamp here. Because I know I can make it, baby. The last chord. I wanted this song to end in the tonic chord, the chord that says 1, the chord that says we're back home, A flat major, da, 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 but with a major 7. Da, 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 da. But for the vocal, I wanted to be extra, so I decided to add a 9 to the chord, making it an A flat major 9 chord. 'Cause I know. And that is how Dream came to be. Thank you so much for staying. This is not the end. This is only the second Logic Pro session. There are going to be many more. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This was Levandé, and I hope to see you soon.